on, let's record this because that's very powerful because, you know, the whole thing is about the frustration of our people not taking advantage of the opportunities that are presented before them and not showing up to do the work that is necessary. But when somebody has a viable solution for you and you don't show up, or you sit up and try to criticize it, or you sit up and try to say, oh, I tried that, it didn't work, blah, blah, blah. It's very frustrating. And so, hey, darling, what's up, Shari?
Pretty good, pretty good. I haven't said hello in a while.
I know. I'm loving that hat, though. That's going on right there, man.
Thank you. I'm known as the hat girl.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm loving that. That's all right. I got to show Yolanda that.
Thank you.
You been good? You been keeping this man in line?
Yep. Always.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's the best. I got to preserve him, you know?
That's right. He's a treasure. He's a world treasure.
You best believe it.
Absolutely. And so are you, because otherwise we wouldn't have him.
Thank you. That's what I tell him. Behind every man is a good woman.
That's
you know?
right. That's right. Not even behind him, beside him.
Exactly.
That's right. Sometimes in front.
Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's
I get
right.
him in line when need to get in line. You know?
I know.
I show him who's boss.
Oh, I know you do. I can tell.
Yeah.
I know.
Scorpio.
Oh, Scorpio? Oh,
Jamaica,
it's all done.
Scorpio.
It's over.
From Jamaica.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Jamaican Scorpio female, very dangerous.
Ooh. Yep. Do not cross that stinger.
Yeah. Yeah.
When it's good, it's very good.
Right.
But when it's bad, it's even better.
I'm gonna let you guys get back to work. I know I always come in and bother you.
No, it's not a bother at all. We love you. Thank you. It's been a while since I've seen you.
Yes.
Right.
Have we seen each other since the New Year?
I don't know.
Well, Happy New Year if I haven't.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I don't think so. So yeah, that's good.
All right, and
Good.
give my love to Yolanda. I can't wait for some time when we can all get together.
We'll all get together and, well, let's see, the two, I guess it's me. This is going to be really weird because me and you will be drinking and smoking cigars.
Exactly.
Kaba and Yolanda will be sitting up having a vegan something. I don't know how that works out, but that's the way it is.
Hey, we'll make it work. Trust me. Sounds like fun.
I got to figure out how to taint Kaba just a little bit. Here, take this one little puff. Just one little puff, Kaba.
I know. I know. You never know. You can break him down sometime, you know? It's in there somewhere.
Well, if you're with him, I'll feel safe because that way I know he's all right.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah,
exactly.
it's in here.
I know it is.
That brother under heavy manners. We ain't letting him out because he don't know how to act.
We don't know how to, that's right. He don't want to get off that table, Kaba. You know better than that. You're in front of your family like that. What's going on?
That's right. And since when you start twerking like that?
Oh, you scared me now already. I don't know now.
I scare myself.
Oh my God, that's some good stuff.
You know how it is.
I know how it is. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. We have a good time.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Oh, that's funny.
All right, take care.
All right, love. I love you.
Love you too. See you
All right,
next week.
take care.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
I just want to know if she'll still love us after she realized she's just been recorded.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I know, right? Exactly. The community is going to love this.
Yeah, yeah, because normally she comes in and we're not doing this. You know.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. She's like, oh, no. It's like, oh, yeah.
Take all those selfies.
Oh,
This is a selfie. I'm going to show you.
That's right.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
sure.
That's right.
Yeah.
We might put you on Snapchat, Shari. We might.
That's why I had my heart. I said, oh, please. What's the sister going to say? Because I can see that recording little red dot right there.
Exactly.
And I'm saying to myself, this is going down.
This is going.
Oh, I'm going to show it to you. You'll
Okay.
see it.
Oh,
Oh, man.
oh, Lord. You know I ain't gonna do you like that. I'm not gonna.
Because I heard it when she came in. And I said, now let's see if she come down here.
Oh, that's too funny.
Wow. I just heard her come in.
We're having a good time, ladies and gentlemen, in the green room. This is my downtime with Professor. This is our weekly meeting where we sit up and we work on. Well, you would think it doesn't look like we're working now, but we're about to work. We're about to do some work. But we get into these conversations, and we decided that that some of these conversations should be recorded and some of them should be put out to the community so you can get a chance to see what happens behind the scenes with DigitalNomics training with Kaba and with all the work that he's doing and a lot of the products that and educational materials that he's going to be bringing out. So we were talking about basically us not showing up when an opportunity presents itself. And Professor, you had some profound words on that have saved my life on many occasions in terms of being frustrated with my people. You say, I'm just looking for 3 out of 100. And that's something that really has saved me.
Yeah. I'm not into numbers. I'm into commitment.
Mm-hmm.
Because Philippe, you know, the human hours that you put into what you do so well. Like I said, you know, like when you and I are here and we're going through how to put things up, I'm taking notes. These are my notes. These are my steps.
Wow.
How I take notes. So that when you're telling me, when we're putting something up like that ebook, what I do is constantly, every time we do it, as many times have we done it, every time we do it, I continue to write it each time. I've got this written at least about 8 times. For it to sink into my head. For you to get to where you are, it takes work. What I do, it takes work. For me to learn what you're teaching me, it takes work. It's a response to your ability. That's what responsibility is. You are either going to do it or you're not. You might be attracted to the little razzle or dazzle in the beginning, but you'll lose interest in that and you'll fade away. You won't do it anymore. This work that takes into liberating our people. You see, one of the important things that's going to come out in spirituality before religions when I talk about the dynasties of Kemet is that when we study the dynasties, this is how the African tradition of leadership did it, which I find very interesting, is that dynasties were built on families. That's what made them dynasties. They were built on families and the handing down of the lineage and of the responsibility from family member to family member. However, when we look at the Old Kingdom, the Middle Kingdom, the New Kingdom, and then what's called the Sixth Napatan Kingdom or the 25th Dynasty, we see that there are dynasties and there are periods. There are ages and there are periods. There are 2 intermediate periods, maybe even 3, that interrupt the consistency and the continuity of African rule, family rule. But what we notice is that every time a kingdom comes into existence, in order to understand how that kingdom came into existence, you don't look at the first Neset Biti or the first Pharaoh. You have to go back 2 people before, or maybe 1 person before, because it is the parents. I'll give you an example. When you look at the New Kingdom, you see that there is a Neset Biti, the first Pharaoh of the 18th dynasty, Akmose. Let's call him Akmose. But Akmose, the first Pharaoh of the 18th dynasty, did not bring the 18th dynasty into existence. It was his father and grandfather, Sekenere and Senantere, who ended the 17th dynasty and bequeathed to Akmose and that family line the beginning of the 18th dynasty. Now, why is this important? This is important to me because what I am saying is that I am not going to start the new age of African liberation. My children are. What I am going to do is I'm going to end this phase so that they can begin their phase. And if we thought about that, then we come to a conclusion, as the Brazilian scholar Paulo Freire said, our job in life is to make it possible to make it possible.
I love that. Wow.
See, we get burnt out.
Yeah.
because we want to see what we want to see.
Yeah. I think I'm going through that right now.
I think we all do who have a passion.
Yeah.
In our own way, I want to see that school for our children.
Right. Exactly.
I want to be there. I want to be able to see those young melanated faces smiling and laughing and raising their hands to answer questions and to ask questions of the teacher, and for the teacher to have the smile. I want to see that. I want to see a wonderful way in which education was meant to be. But I also realize it may not come in my lifetime. So my job isn't to say, oh, if I can't see it, then I'm going to stop. Because if our ancestors on the plantation had felt that, none of us would be free right now. Because many of them realized that they would never see freedom in their lifetime. But they realized and knew that if they just kept doing what they were doing, if they kept on keeping on, somebody would. And we are the recipients of that struggle.
Right.
So who are we now to think that this is so overwhelming that we worried about somebody? And like I said before, did Harriet Tubman ever concern herself with who was the president when she was on the Underground Railroad? She just kept doing what she was doing no matter who was in the White House. And that's what I'm saying to us. It don't make a difference who's in the White House. I believe we had a brother in the White House for 8 years that really tried to do some stuff. And if things couldn't happen for us then, what's going to happen now? It's the system. It's not who sits in the chair. It's the system that created the chair. It's corrupt. The Western civilization was born in murder and mayhem.
That's right.
And it will never cleanse itself until it deals with the indigenous people worldwide that they brought pain and suffering to. And while I believe there's a lot that we have to deal with, as I'm listening to what's going on here, they don't get it.
No, they haven't got a clue.
And until that day, I can't be in a business with that. We got to be about us. Every moment we worry about them is a moment we can't be concerned about us.
Right. That's absolutely correct.
And when you look at every human form, Australopithecus robustus, to Gracile, to Homo habilis, Homo erectus, Homo sapiens, and Homo sapiens sapiens. Australopithecus gracile was that segment of Australopithecus robustus. They were the 3 out of 100 of Australopithecus robustus that were able to hang on and take the human family to the next level.
You also, I remember when you were here in Sacramento, you said something to me that also really affected me. We were talking about, we were with Terrence, because Terrence Taylor had brought you in, and we were talking about something about nutrition or something like that, or GMOs or something, and you said something that was very profound. You said, brother, the people who will survive are the people who are able to adapt. And I thought that was, that kind of stopped me in my tracks for a moment, because not to say it's not right to eat healthy and all of those things and take care of yourself, but you kind of really put it in perspective. And that is, the only reason that we have survived is because we have been able to adapt to our environment. And that's what you're saying now. Regardless of who's in the White House, regardless of what the politics are playing out, regardless of the laws, the politics, regardless of the State of the Union, we are genetically designed to survive. We are the greatest and best survivors probably in the history of mankind, I would assume.
Absolutely. And I believe it was so designed. I believe that's our divine destiny. And when I get to the book, I've added another chapter, brother.
Oh, nice. Okay.
It's called The Final Word.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Oh, wow.
The final word comes at the after.
Now, this is an exclusive, because we're still recording. I'm like, wait a minute now.
Yeah.
All right. How did it come about?
Because I was saying to myself, and it's not going to be long. It's just going to be an ending conversation. Because what the reader of Spirituality Before Religions will see is that we're going to go full circle. from the Memphite text to the Shabaka stone, from the Old Kingdom to the 25th dynasty. The Shabaka stone rewrote the Memphite text. The Memphite text was written thousands of years before the Shabaka stone.
Mm-hmm.
The Shabaka stone was written in stone to preserve and respect the brilliance of Shabaka's ancestors.
Mm-hmm.
So in a sense, where we begin with the Memphite text, we come full circle to the Shabaka stone. It's the same document, but improved.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that the Old Kingdom, the reason why Shabaka, the Neset Biti, or the Pharaoh of the 25th dynasty, rewrote the Memphite text was because nothing was new after the Old Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that the Old Kingdom was the pinnacle of African thought, philosophy, and achievement of a much older African concept that came up out of the Kushite Empire that started in the Great Lakes region in the very beginnings of the human family. Those individuals I am calling super sapiens.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They were beyond Homo sapiens sapiens.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's the road we were on before we were so rudely interrupted.
Mm-hmm.
And that final word is asking those 3 out of 100, are we ready to return back to super sapienization?
Mm. Wow.
Because all this ain't just about the liberation and emancipation of the African mind. As you can see where people are going,
Mm-hmm.
they're fracking around.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do you know, I saw this piece on TV yesterday about Oklahoma. And that Oklahoma now, and they showed it in a map where Oklahoma is having specific earthquakes in specific areas of Oklahoma. And everywhere that they are having these major earthquakes that very few people are talking about are a direct result of drilling in the earth for oil and natural gas.
Interesting.
And that the earthquakes, you know, like when you stick your finger down your throat and you regurgitate,
Mm-hmm.
it's called reverse peristalsis. When you vomit,
Mm-hmm.
well, that's what's happening in the earth.
Mm.
The earth is a living entity.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Gaia. Gaia. Gaia is a living entity. The earth is a living organism. It's like a cell of the universe's body. It's living. And what we're doing by drilling into the earth is like sticking the finger down the throat.
Mm-hmm.
That sound is the earthquake in the earth. The earth is vomiting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When they had that major thing out down in New Orleans where they were drilling down into the water and they had all of that, the earth was vomiting because we're forcing. And what I am saying, and that's why when I was in Sacramento and I spoke in Wose and I spoke in places, the future wealth of the world is in solar power.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We have to stop drilling in the earth.
Mm-hmm.
The earth has given us everything we need for the time we needed it.
Mm-hmm.
But our ancestors were sun worshipers because they understood where the original light and heat energy came from. The light and heat energy that comes from the sun is by exponentially stronger than the energy that we get from the earth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But the people who are drilling in the earth can't stand in the presence of the sun because they will get sun cancer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So the future of the wealth is in the hands of melanated people because we are the only people that can stand in the presence of the sun. And the sun is our parent and not our enemy.
Mm-hmm.
The sun revitalizes us.
That's
it doesn't kill us.
That's right.
And so that this final word.
Wow, that's, let's pause on that for a moment, because I think that's, we all talk about it, being children of the sun versus children of the ice. But let's just say that the sun doesn't kill us, it revitalizes us. It kills them.
Yes, absolutely.
The longer the exposure to us, the more melanin we produce.
Yes.
Which heals us exponentially, all, mind, body, and spirit.
Absolutely.
But for them, they die.
Absolutely.
That's powerful right there. And I think that's something to talk. We might, I think we should just do a show on that just alone, just to kind of bring that out. Because I think that when we need to talk about, when I had Dr. Nichols on, and Dr. Nichols was talking about the axiological aspects of the Eurasian and how the environment epigenetically coded them to survive. This is also what you just said fits into that. And it's also what Francis Cress Welsing talked about.
Absolutely.
And that's something that I think our kids particularly need to understand, that when you see a Eurasian, they might look quote unquote human and what have you, and all these characteristics and things, but as you have said, they're a mutation of a mutation. And they are the sun and the earth from where they came from was constantly trying to kill them.
Absolutely.
It's almost like the earth is trying to eradicate and self-correct, if you will, which is really kind of, a kind of a sci-fi thing. But when you look at it from an evolutionary perspective, when we got trapped, lost our melanin, it was like a hiccup. It was a genetic, and not that the earth, God makes mistakes, but it was like, okay, let me heal myself and eradicate this particular species off the planet, because this is not really what the planet, in terms of population, is supposed to be. It's all melanated people, and here comes this albino person or species, and the Earth is saying, well, the sun's going to try to kill you, the ice age is going to try to kill you, and so here you have a species that is trying to control the resources, so that they can stay alive and continue their genetic reign. That's what we're up against.
Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
And we can see it all. And the blessing of it is that they morphed into who they became specifically because nature still loved them enough to give them the wherewithal. And like I said, we as a species have 3 gifts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 3 gifts: language, intellect, and reasoning.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, we have the intellect to think, the reasoning to manipulate that thought, and the language to express it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's our gifts. Like the bird has sight, the dog has smell, the rabbit has hearing,
mm-hmm.
the owl, has the ability to see in the dark. Our specialty is not a natural specialty.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It just, we happened upon it during the Miocene period of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
See, this is the beauty of it. This is what our children need to learn in school to understand. These are the lessons that we have to be teaching our children, which is science. And if you remember also that brother in Sacramento who spoke about doing those attaché cases of solar power.
Yes, yes.
You remember?
Yes.
Hey, man.
Yes,
Like,
I need to contact him too. He's amazing.
And please do, because I need to talk to him, because you know what I did? Because you remember what I did? I told the brother to come up and take some of my time.
I remember that. That's exactly right. I'm looking for his business card.
Because I said that brother's message is so phenomenal.
Yes.
To think that I would spend 2 hours, 3 hours just talking and not allow that brother up to express the work.
Simeon Gant.
Simeon Gant.
And the company is called Green Tech.
Green Tech?
Green Tech Education and Employment, giving youth an eco advantage. Yes, Simeon Tech. So greentech.edu.org is the website. Yeah.
Green Tech EDU?
Yeah. I don't know if you can see this. Probably not.
No, I can't, but I can. GREE. Oh, wait a minute. I can see it better now. Okay. Okay, green tech ed. Okay, I see it. Okay.
And yeah, that bro, I gotta call that brother.
Now that was just a phenomenal promotion for him.
Yeah, no doubt, because this is good and ready to go. He don't even know. This is so crazy because I'm going to put this up.
You better call him because he's going to get a He's going to say, where did this come from?
Right.
But what he's doing is the future.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And we need to sit up underneath him and learn what he's doing.
And you know, the other thing is all digital.
Yeah.
It's all digital based. It's all Ethernet. It's all in this space that it's and it's another form of DigitalNomics.
Yeah, absolutely. It's another form of this.
Yeah.
And now you speak of the brother, I love being black.
Oh God, Kumi Rauf. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you bring these forces. I was talking to my son Heru about this. You bring these forces together. The power of you on the internet, the power of this brother on Facebook,
right?
The power of Simeon Gant, the information that I have that literally I was doing a class.
Yes. It is.
Well, you know, when I spoke to Heru jumped up on it almost immediately.
I love being black. There it is. Yep.
Powerful.
Yeah, that dude is amazing.
6 million folk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know when we bring these forces together? See, this is what I mean when I say we're sitting on a gold mine and we're living in illusion.
Right. Right.
We're living the illusion that it can't be.
Mm-hmm.
But the bottom line is that when you bring these forces together, we can make this happen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We can personify Powernomics.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly.
We can bring it in. We can make word make flesh.
That's right.
We can bring it.
We can create a digital Black Wall Street again.
Absolutely.
Or for the first time.
Brother, what I'm looking at in my account, this is making contact. This e-course is making contact with the community. Yes. I got folk in Sweden.
Wow.
Taking the e-course. I got people in Spain, in Israel.
Really?
Yes.
I knew it. I knew it. I just, you know, that is my gift. That's my lane. I know what I know. And when I see it, I say it. And I, again,
but you see,
sounding like those damn chipmunks on the Bugs Bunny Roadrunner show. It's like, no, think you, Professor Kaba. No, Philippe, think you. No, I'm thinking you because I'm glad you just said yes and got it and took a shot because you know, unfortunately, you've been burned before. I've been burned before, and we've been burned by people who look just like us. And let's just call it what it is. It's something that happens. It's something that we have to work through and push through. And you push through it, I push through it, and here we are.
That's it.
And we were our 3 out of 100 for each other.
Exactly. See, but the 3 out of 100 know each other.
Mm. Mm.
You know, it's like in the Matrix.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, same, no same.
Mm-hmm.
And, it doesn't take long before we realize who is and who is not.
Right, right.
It doesn't take long because the nature of our passion for what we do eradicates the people who ain't into it.
That's so true. How about that? I love that. That is so true. Say that again if you can.
Yeah, when you're running, folk that can't keep up with you eventually will stop running.
That's right. That's right. That's true.
So that's why I say keep on keeping on.
Yep.
It ain't over till we win because when you just keep on, the wheat from the chaff will always show.
Mm-hmm.
You just keep doing what you're doing. And the people who are with you will stay with you. You know, I remember a lot of people around Professor Clark growing up.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember as the years went on, who was still with him. Who was still with him. Same thing with Dr. Ben. Who stays with you? Who is resilient?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what teachers do.
Mm-hmm.
Teachers are there for the students. But at the point where the student, there's a lot of folk call me at times.
Mm-hmm.
But there aren't many that still call me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's just the way it is. And for whatever impact I had on them, beautiful. still love you, still respect you. You're doing great in what you do. They're doing their thing. It just wasn't what I was doing that was their thing. I may have helped them find their thing. I may have been part of the road of their life to find it.
Sure.
And if you don't, that's fine. It's all right. Because I'm going to do this no matter who's in the White House. I'm going to do this no matter who is coming to my presentations. This has been my assignment by the Creator to do this work.
That's right. That's right.
And this is what I've ingested for my life and what I encourage other folk to do. To look for the 3 out of 100. Look for those people who have been waiting for you.
Wow, I like that. Look for those people who have been waiting for you. That is huge. Now, I know you have a black cat, and I just saw something white go by.
Yes, that is Nai. That is the white cat.
That's the first time I
am an equal opportunity cat lover. That's why
I know he's got a black cat, but he's got a white cat too. I'm like, oh, that's
why I said to Sophie, I got one look like you, and I got one.
Yeah, I was like, that's so biracial. That's so good of you.
This is Nai. He spends a great deal of time with me.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah. Okay. All right, let me knock this recorder off, and we'll get to work here.